Hello, I'm Jason Strongerhead. To understand, right, what the stock market might be doing in the next few weeks, I'm going to talk about this hot topic. Warning, China stocks to be delisted. So how is it going to affect the stock market? Because on Friday, the market actually tumbled a little bit due to this particular news. So some people already start dumping their shares if they already bought their China stocks. So if you are interested to understand, if you have bought some of the China stocks, what you're going to do? What is going to happen, right, if really the China stock begin to delist? So if this interests you, stay tuned, okay? Now I'm just going to continue. Now, so one of the key topic today, and you saw the news, right? It's time for China to blink first. This news looks like US is looking to attack China and is looking to threaten China and tell them to behave or something, right? Okay, so exactly when this thing happened, look at the stocks. The Dow Jones went down 100 over points, right? Because of this incident. That means, right, the market believe that if, let's say, there are some rules and regulation to delist the China stocks, that means, right, it will impact the whole market as well. So why is it that the US wants to do that? Now, this is not the first time you are hearing this. It's just that they are bringing this up again. So the US is looking to remove, right, those China companies that are using the US stock market to just get fun. After that, they will just leave the market and left a lot of investors stranded. Okay, so because of that, they want to create more stringent rules to protect their people in the market, for example, right? Protect the investors. Okay, so if you look at it, right, once this news released, the top 5 Chinese company listed in US, Alibaba, PetroChina, China Petroleum, China Life, and Baidu, they all got affected. Boom, okay, all the market, look at it. So the moment the news was released, so on Friday, you can see that all their prices went down, okay, significantly, and they didn't recover yet after that. Yeah, so if you are holding on to these stocks, is it what will happen to you, right? So let's take a look. Okay. Now, if let's say the delisting will happen, it will not happen overnight, and it may eventually might not happen as well. Okay. So for example, previously, okay, long time ago, so there were some rules, right, that they want to talk about those Russian companies and especially those in energy. Okay, they wanted to create some rules to get them to be more accountable, and there are some sanctions over a lot of dispute. But however, some of these Russian company, right, they are still in the US market, they are still trading. Okay, so they eventually still haven't delisted yet. So therefore, a lot of talks on delisting, it may not happen, and even if it happen, it will take a long time for it to happen. It's not just overnight. Okay, and definitely, right, there will be a lot of companies, they will come in and protest very, very aggressively, right? Because like, for example, Google or Alphabet and Walmart has got big stake in JD.com, okay, and BlackRock, this investment juggernaut, okay, and Vanguard, they invested heavily in Alibaba and Baidu. Okay, so because of that, right, it is not going to be easy just delist and it will be delist, no, because there's a lot of investor and there's a lot of stake, okay, on hand. Yeah, and there are about 200 over companies, and their total worth about $1.8 trillion, okay, in the market value. So if all this money were to be removed, okay, it is going to be a big hit on the US market. So it's not going to be just like overnight thing. However, will the laws be implemented? Yeah, of course, it may eventually be passed. Now, if it passed, right, there will still be about 3 years for all the company to comply to prove that they are in compliance to the US rules and regulation, that their company will be able to report their numbers more accurately and things like that, right? Yeah, so it will be okay, I think. Yeah, and this thing is just a knee-jerk reaction. If you look at the market, right, the US market, okay, the US market did dip, but after that it kind of recover. Can you see that? All three kind of recover after they talk about the China market. That means overall US market, they still bullish about. It will not affect them overall lah. But except for the China stocks, you see the China stock, once it dipped, it didn't really recover, while the rest of the market recover, right? So if you're holding to the China stock, what is going to happen to you? Okay, so in according to some of the articles that I read, okay, you can expect that all the Chinese giant companies, right, to be safe. Okay, so that will be one. Now, why is that so? That they didn't say it for a reason. Okay, if let's say they really got to be delisted, they will list their market in elsewhere. So if let's say you're a shareholder, they may just continue to give you the share, and after that, when it is elsewhere, you can continue to trade. Now, even if they delist, right, you can still continue to trade, just that you cannot trade on the normal stock exchange. Okay, so that will be one. But the big giants, they definitely will go to another place, right? Like for example, Alibaba, they already done that, and they have managed to raise right $13 billion more. Okay, and so in Hong Kong Stock Exchange, and other giant will probably follow suit. And also, yeah, you can see that a lot of this company, right, even if they were to delist from the stock market in US, right, they are not heavily reliant on this capital to fund their business. In fact, they are capital light. Like for example, Alibaba, they are capital light internet platforms, right, that rely on internal cash generation rather than the equity market. So to them, right, it is going to be okay. Yeah. And so you're invested in this kind of company, I think you'll be fine, even though they delist. Okay. And it won't happen overnight. It won't happen so easy. Okay. But the question you really need to ask yourself is, why is it that US is so harsh, right, on China? And why is it that US is like seeming to pick on China? Okay. There is a bigger question on that. And some people, in fact, have leave a post and asked me, can I talk a little bit about the US and China relationship and how does it impact the stock market? So if you're interested in that, in my next episode, I'm going to talk about that. And if you have not subscribed, please click on the subscribe button so that when I release this news, you'll be the first to be notified. Okay, with that, I'm Jason Strongerhead signing off, and I will see you in the next few days on the episode that I'm about to share with you on stock market crashing again because of the US-China trade war. All right.